Hello and welcome. I'm Grace here at Central Wellness. The practice today is a evening wind down practice. I'm going to be particularly focusing on think of the main stress containers in the body. So it's around the jaw, the shoulders, the abdomen area and the hips. So we're going to start together lying down. So find a comfortable position, preferably on your back. You might find that having the legs extended doesn't feel very comfortable for your lower back. So you might place something underneath your knees or behind your head. And the other way that can be really supportive for the back, as I'm showing you, is having the knees bent, feet a little bit wider than normal, so about as wide as your mat, and the knees knocking together. And this is called constructive rest position. And here it lets the psoas, or the hip flexor muscles at the front of the legs, often quite tight from sitting a lot of flexion in the hips. And it also lets the belly really relax. And you might find just placing your hands onto the abdomen or somewhere in your body gives you a sense of grounding. So really, to develop this full sense of the practice, there are 3 depths. And we begin on this first kind of level of first letting it be. So maybe you'll close your eyes or just a soft gaze. And taking the gaze into the body, internal sense of sight, feeling what is arising. And perhaps even accepting what is arising. So you might notice something in your body, might notice a busyness in the mind, a certain emotion that is feeling quite strong for you. And just really letting that be here. And this is probably the most important thing, where we start from, inquiring and cultivating a sensitivity to what is here. So the mindfulness of the practice as we begin, and this turning our attention inwards, is to simply let each moment be. And it reminds us that as we welcome everything in here, we have a choice of how we want to react. And that is the attitude of yoga. That I can first pause and choose how I want to react. But first I need to be aware of what is. So let's take a nice deep full breath into the body. I'm going to maybe make a sound or ooh shape with the mouth. Exhale out. Let's do that a couple more times together. Deep full breath in through the nose. Really let the jaw relax. One more time. Inhaling through the nose. And just letting the body drop and take this shape. Taking in any sounds around you in your environment and letting that awareness in, but not needing to distinguish any of the sounds. And then begin to focus your awareness more on your thoughts and your feelings and sensations. And in that inquiring curiosity, you need to ask yourself, what am I experiencing right now? Just allowing the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, just to be there. You might notice any adverse reaction to something. Just inquiring again with that gentle curiosity. What really wants my attention right now? How am I experiencing this in my body right now? What does this feeling want from me? And as you begin to inquire inwards, expanding that through your whole body, Beginning to connect to your breath and using the breath to anchor yourself to this experience. So we're not here to try and fix or change anything. We're just really welcoming in these first few moments together of letting it be, letting the awareness in. Take a deep, full breath in. And again, long, relaxed breath out. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to begin some gentle movement together. So we feel a little bit more grounded within ourselves. To begin the practice of self-inquiry. So you need to bring your right knee into your chest and then your left knee into your chest. And place your hands just on the tops of your kneecaps. And at the moment, not beginning any movement, just feel the weight of the back of the body. So a little bit of weight of the thighs pressing onto the belly. Not trying to tuck the tailbone or lift the hips or the shoulders or the head. Feeling very supported through the back of the body. Just feel that sense of grounding, dropping down. And then begin to circle the ankles a little bit round. And change the direction. And then we'll begin to circle the knees around. So start off quite slow and small. So we're really getting this feedback, sensory direct experience from the body back to the brain. So these are we call bottom-up strategies, the body talking to the mind. And often we think of it the other way around, that the mind is kind of controlling the show. And here we're beginning to bring that integration of mind and body. It's a nice slow, mindful movements, just circling the knees. One might move in one direction. You might be circling together. Really just investigating again, letting be whatever is here. Draw the knees a little bit further away from the torso. And then draw them all the way in. You can even start to bring the forehead up towards the knees. And then laying the spine down. And again, extending the knees away from the body. So you feel that movement from the sacrum, rippling all the way up the spine. So we can think of marrying up the communication of our movements and let these movements be quite organic at the moment. Marrying up the communication from the body to the mind, from the mind to the body. So we're not trying to control or think ourselves into this, but feel into it. Good. And then again, come back to a little moment of stillness, knees into the chest, shoulders soft. Try and relax any expression off your face. And then extend the right leg all the way down. And extend the left leg all the way down. And let the feet come a little wider now, almost like a star shape. And then we'll extend the arms over your head. So we're in like a V position with the arms, not too tight through the shoulders. And if that feels quite constrictive through the shoulders, bend the elbows a little bit. And then we'll do some cross-lateral work, which is really nice to kind of marry up again either side of the brain. So we're thinking not of length here, but reach. I'm going to reach to your right fingertips and extend the right arm a little bit and do the same with the left leg. Extend and then release and draw back in. Let's take it over to the left. So lift the left arm, reach to the left fingertips, lift the right leg, reach and release back in. Let's keep that going. Inhaling, opposite arm, opposite leg, extend. And really register that release. And again. and release. One more time each side. So if you can get an inhale, so coordinating the movement. Exhale, release with the breath. Inhale, extend. Lovely. Exhale and release. And again, that moment just to register. And now we're going to see if we can do that by inhaling. Draw both knees and the elbows into the chest. You're curling up into a little ball. And then as you're exhaling and extend back out into that star shape. Good. Let's do that a couple of times with the breath. So it's a little bit more dynamic. We're feeling into the core of the body. You're curling all the way in. And then really feel as you extend out, you're taking up some space, reaching out. Inhaling, drawing in. Lovely. Exhale, extending. One more time. Inhaling in, curling up. And then extending. Really get that nice wide star shape through the body, even to the fingertips. Spread the fingers wide. And again, a moment to register that through the body. You're going to feel like the whole body is breathing, not just the breath located maybe in the upper part of the chest. Good. And again, we're going to curl in. So let's see if we can take an inhale and bring the knees and the elbows together. And this time you're going to roll over to your right side and still stay in that little curled ball. And then on an exhale, I want to curl back to center and extend the arms, extend the legs, and really get the feel of taking up space. Good. Let's curl in on an inhale. Turn now to the left. Try not to strain the head and the neck. And then again, come back, big extension. Inhaling, curl in to the right. And then big extension. And just continue like that a few more times. Curling in and over. And extend. And just following the sensations with those different movements. So coordinating with the breath the best you can, but more just focusing how those movements feel and extending out and the curling in. So we're getting a little warmer as well. I think this is the last one. So we meet back, that big wide star. So often it's those moments after the breath work or after the movement that we really feel that through the nervous system. There's that residue that it leaves. Good. Now again, we're going to curl up into a little ball. This time wrap your arms around your knees. Curl the forehead towards the knees. And we're going to just rock and roll a couple of times up and down your mat. Again, not flinging the legs, but just enjoying a nice massage along the spine. And then we'll come up to seated together. So as you come up to seated, and I'm going to sit up onto a block for a moment, it helps to elevate the hips a little bit, let the knees drop down if you don't need to, or sit onto a cushion. And just take a moment as we come up to seated to close your eyes. And you might not find it's comfortable to sit cross-legged. You might be kneeling or the legs extended. But just take a moment to feel now the spine upright. Again, dropping down into that feeling of sensation through the body. So we can feel the effects of lying down and being held. So we hold a lot muscularly through gravity. We stand a lot in our day. So now just sitting, opening up to whatever you meet. Slightly draw the shoulder blades back. Relax the belly. Breathe down into the body. I'm going to reach the arms behind you, interlacing the fingers. So I'll turn to the side to look a little bit more and just squeezing the shoulder blades together and tucking your chin. So there's a nice feeling kind of massaging across the front of the chest. Again, big wide breath, inhale. We're going to turn our chest towards the left knee and slightly bring your chest forward, keeping the chin tucked towards your left knee. And maybe even investigating lifting the arms up a little bit, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Again, that massage across the front of the body. Inhaling, chin is tucked, but drawing back through to center. And then we'll exhale, slightly twisting over towards the left knee and drawing forward. So that none of these are really big movements. Again, just exploring, letting in whatever is there, breathing into it, and using the breath as your anchor. And as you inhale, we'll come back up. Chin is still tucked. And you feel that energy across the front of the chest, the shoulders, the arms. Draw the shoulders a little bit further away from the ears. And then we'll release the arms, lift the chin, and just shake that kind of off. And that feeling of kind of shaking off whatever was there, letting it go a little bit. Good. And then we're going to bring the arms up to what I call cactus. So my elbows and shoulders are in line, and spread the fingers nice and wide and just squeeze a little bit the shoulder blades together. And start to feel that support of the back of the body lifting the chest. Take a deep full breath in, wide across the chest. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your forearms towards each other. Maybe they touch, maybe the palms can draw together, and you're going to tuck your chin again towards your chest. Elbows stay lifted, inhale. Lift the chin back up, bring the arms out wide, squeeze the shoulder blades. And then exhale. I want to feel like you're curling in, chin to chest, opening up the back of the ribs, soften your shoulders. Inhaling to open. So you can kind of make this as expansive. Exhaling to close as you want to. But really mindfully moving with your breath pattern. So if I'm going a little faster or a little slower for you, you can find a rhythm that's really going to let you kind of move into that slowly and mindfully. Inhaling is opening, expanding our awareness out. And as we exhale, we curl back in. And meet me here. Palms are touching, forearms are drawing together. Breathing into the back of the ribs, again anchoring the breath into the body. And then lift the gaze back up. So the palms are pressing together. And see if you can stack your right elbow on top of your left. And the backs of hands or palms together. And if that bind doesn't work, if you've got a big distance between your arms, don't worry. You might even find this action of wrapping your fingers around the back of your ribs really feels nurturing. Good. So whatever variation you choose, just gently, if you've got the palms pressing together and the fingertips up, so you're going to lift the fingers, lift the elbows up a little bit. Lift the shoulders up a bit. Good. So we're getting some mobility, often into an area where we're quite tight and constricted around the shoulders and the neck. And then we're going to drop the elbows into the chest. And again, find that curling and rounding in. Hold for a couple of breaths around the shoulders and the neck. Good. So we're really feeling into creating some space in the body. Lift the elbows, lift the chest. And now bring the arms out back into that nice expansive cactus arms. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale. As you exhale again, bringing the forearms, the palms to touch. Left now, elbow on top of right. So I'm really trying to stack the elbows on top of each other. Maybe the palms will touch. Maybe you're going to take that option and modification with the hands around the back of the ribs. And if you've got the fingertips reaching up, again, lift them up, lift the elbows, lift the shoulders up a little bit. Take a full, wide, big breath into the body. And then exhale, drop the shoulders, drop the elbows, drop the chin to the chest, and curl right in. Breathing in. Good, breathing out. So just doing some lovely unwinding movements. And feeling into what is there. And letting that kind of abide, letting that be there. We're not trying to push anything away. Let's inhale, again, lift the chin, nice tall spine. Last time, wide with the arms. Big, wide, expansive breath. Now maybe you can even straighten the arms and turn the palms up. Maybe even open the throat a little bit. Just welcoming in. Turn your palms down and slowly float your arms all the way down. Let the shoulders drop and let the fingertips lightly rest down. Good. Placing the right hand down as you inhale. Reach the left arm all the way up. I'm going to just take it into a side line, opening. And let's bend the top elbow and bring the hand just to support the back of the head and let the head go heavy in the hand. So maybe then you can explore just creating a little bit more space through the side body around the intercostal muscles. So you maybe explore lifting the left elbow, the left rib cage, maybe even a little twist coming in here, maybe opening the throat. So again, it's very much exploratory movements, guided with the breath, not thinking yourself into this. And then with that top arm, inhale, extend it over the head. I'm going to circle it all the way forward. Reach as far forward as you can. And then bring the left hand down. Come back up, inhale. Right arm reaches all the way up. Exhaling it over, so we're back into side line. Bend the top elbow. Support the head in the hands. Let it go heavy for a moment. And that feeling I've got support here. I can let go a little bit. And then in that letting go, you begin to explore feeling of space. Lift the right elbow up, maybe turn the chest up. And you're feeling this in your own body. You're not trying to explore it in my body from what you see. I want you to feel for yourself. So maybe your eyes have closed. A breath anchors you to that direct experience in the body. Inhale, extend the right arm up over the head and then big circle forward, reaching as far forward as you can. And then we'll bring both hands down and come all the way back up, nice tall spine. And again, just that moment to feel that through the body, that residue afterwards, breathing in. Lovely, and breathing out. Okay. Let's come off the block. If you're sitting cross-legged, it's feel nice to release a little bit the legs. So we just windscreen wiper them side to side. So my feet are about as wide as the mat. And we're just gently letting the knees fall to one side and feeling that over the feet. So again, a little movement into the feet and the ankles. I want to explore that. So the next time your knees drop over to the right, I want you to turn all the way to the right, turning your right fingertips to face towards the end of the mat. And then the left arm's going to again lift up and over. And if you found that supportive to support the head with the hand, do that, or you can keep the top arm extended. And this might feel enough with the hips down. Notice I've got both knees bent. But you might want to start to lift out the right hip and the right shoulder and again really explore that range of the movement for you. So don't get too stagnant here. Let the posture kind of come alive with movement, with breath. Feel space in the body, deep breath in. And then slowly bringing the hips back down, circle that left arm back through. Lovely, and then let's turn all the way over to the left. Again, make sure the feet are wide, spin the torso, turn the fingertips to face towards the end of the mat. Inhale, right arm comes up and over the head. And again, just feeling into the body for you. Knees stay bent, pressing down through the feet and the shins if you're lifting the hips. And you can let the whole spine get involved by drawing the skull back if you want to. Lovely big expansive shape in the body. And then slowly again bringing the hips down, circling the right arm and coming all the way back. Good. Such a beautiful posture, really expressive. Let's bring the feet a little bit closer together. It's still my fingertips are facing towards the torso, and walk the feet a bit further out. I'm going to draw the right knee in and place the right ankle just above the left knee. And if that feels too much for you, you can come further down onto the shin. So we're starting to get a little bit now into the outer part of the hip. I'm going to walk my left foot in, but try and keep the torso nice and spine nice and erect, torso lifted. And you can see here just a little bit of movement. Movement is actually very relaxing for the body and the mind. It's a way that naturally animals kind of shake off stress. So it's just a way that we can kind of process and move things through. But first, we have to be aware of what is there. So feeling in, using the movement, just to touch in, to go there and move back out. And trying to draw the right knee a little bit away from the body. Feeling in. And then we'll release. Let's release the right foot down. Do the same, bring the left knee in. Left foot can be flexed. Again, modify as you need to. Little bit of movement. You might find that one side is easier to the other. Try not to kind of judge that, but again, it's an awareness. I feel that in my body. You might notice that when you step off your mat and other areas that you compensate or have less range when you're doing a certain activity. Good. And then from here, release. And then we'll sweep ourselves all the way up and over onto our hands and knees. So we're kind of building from the ground up. Just pad the hands a little bit, spread the fingers wide. Pat down through the feet. So again, this instinct of really feeling the body, feeling grounded. And then we'll come to neutral spine. So gaze is slightly forward and down. And we'll begin through the movements of cat-cow and coordinating that with the breath. So as you inhale, I want to tilt the pelvis, lift the sitting bones. So you're slightly arching the back and then open the throat and lift your gaze. And as you exhale, I want to tuck your tailbone. Feel that ripple all the way along the spine as you lift the back ribs, tucking your chin and let the head be heavy. Inhaling, breath begins the movement. Lifting the gaze, press the chest forward. Lovely. Exhale and rounding. So no rush. Really make sure that you register this movement, not just to kind of as a passing to get through quickly. Inhale. But it registers up into the brain. The movement, sensors and mapping. Exhale and curling. Inhale, extending. Shoulders away from the ears. Open the throat. Good. Exhale and rounding. And just hold for a few breaths and cat stretch. And maybe here, just really let the head be heavy. Shake out the head a little bit. Nice, safe way. And release some tension around the neck. Try and relax any expression of your face. Good, and we'll just start to draw back here, hips to heels, but keep the arms extended forward and press all the way to your fingertips. So maybe your hips will come back to your heels, but again, we're feeling that quality of space from under the armpit back to the hip points, dropping the head, gaze is back at the navel. And feel the breath down into the body. Take a deep, full breath in. Long breath out. Now we'll inhale together. Come up through hands and knees, neutral spine. Tuck over your toes and lift up and back. Oh, come into down dog. Good. And in down dog,
Fingers spread nice and wide. Head is heavy, gaze is back at the navel. And again, that same padding of the feet, pressing one heel down and then the other. Try and draw back into the hips. So all the weight's not coming down into the shoulders and the wrists, but you're lifting back into those bigger muscle groups around the hips and the legs. Feeling the weight down into the heels. Really getting that direct experience from the body. Breathing in. Good. Breathing out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale for 3. Exhale 3. Then inhale, come down onto your hands and knees. We'll step the right foot forward between the hands, up onto your fingertips, lifting the chest. And inhale, reach the arms all the way up. So you can let the pelvis come slightly forward, but keep that feeling of space and reach up to your fingertips. Breathing in for 1. Exhale. Breathing in for 2. Exhale. Breathing in for 3. Exhale. Lovely. Inhale. Bring the hands forward and just step the right leg back to meet the left. Inhale. Step the left foot forward. Again, make sure you've got knee over ankle. Press down through your back foot and then inhale. Sweep the arms up over the head. Pelvis can come slightly forward, so we start to open up through the front of the right hip. But lifting up and back through the chest. Inhaling 2. Exhale. Inhaling for 3. Exhale. Good. Inhale again. Hands come forward. Frame the front foot. And again, we just step back into down dog. We'll take a moment back into child's pose, and you might here support the head with your hands or maybe your block. And taking that moment to register those movements through the body. Shoulders soft, belly soft. Breath smooth. Breathing in and breathing out. Again, reach the arms forward, press into the hands, and we'll meet up and back into tabletop. And from here, we're going to come into Pigeon Pose. It's really nice, again, outer hip release. So the right knee is going to come forward towards the right wrist. The right foot comes slightly over to the left side of your mat and draw the left leg back. Now what can happen here is we tend to be a little tighter around the pelvis and the hip and due to kind of posture and just general movement. So supporting the right hip maybe with your block or if you've got a cushion, so you can lift the chest up a little bit without any discomfort in the lower back. And then we're going to let ourselves come forward onto our forearms. And again, just a little bit of movement here, swaying through the torso. So we're not getting too stuck or too tight. So I'm going to stay there for a few breaths. I'd like to just show you a modification. If you're finding that doesn't work well for your right knee, you're going to come onto your back. And as we did that figure of 4, seated, you're going to do that on your back. So it's another nice variation, again, to get into the outer right hip. So wherever you choose, just settle for a couple more breaths, letting it in, beginning with awareness, feeling in with your breath, a sense of touching in, and then with each exhale, softening a little and letting go. And that's really the practice, touching in and letting go. You know, we'd learn to kind of feel into something, not hard and against. And then nice and slowly, if you're with me, you're going to come up onto your hands and knees and right leg just draws back. If you're on your back, stay on your back. We're going to come over to the left side in a moment. So as you're ready, draw your left knee in, left wrist towards the knee, and then left foot slightly over to the right. So you can slip the right leg back. And again, you might be using that support underneath your left hip. A little bit of time here with the spine upright, sensing in, listening to the body. And then as you're ready again, we come forward, nice and soft. So if you find that you would feel good to have something supported your head, you might have another cushion or block here. And really scanning down into the body. And cultivating inquiry. Where can I soften a little bit here? Where could I touch into? Maybe breathe into a little more. Bring awareness to more. And then let that go. And soften. Listening to your breath. And on your next breath in, slowly press into the hands. We'll lift all the way up. And that feeling of just gentle movement to relax and release. Draw the left knee back. And then from here, you might feel child's pose would feel perfect for you. You might feel, actually, I'd like to come back up into that down dog. And I invite you just to take a few breaths. To again, listen to your body. Don't think it, what should I do? But actually, what would feel just right for me? What would feel just right for me? And then we're join up together, whether it's down dog or child, onto your hands and knees. And as you come onto your hands and knees, just bring your chest slightly forward, bend the elbows and come down onto the belly. So my hands are midline of the chest. So if they're a little bit forward of your shoulders, I want you to try and draw them back a little bit. And draw the upper arm bones in. So you feel that it firms up around the shoulder girdle and draws the shoulders away from the ears. So again, we're getting that reset around often chronic patterns of tension up around the shoulders and the ears. So draw the shoulders back and down. Draw the upper arm bones in. Draw the heels towards each other, and even if the feet don't touch, you feel that draws the inner thighs together, engages the inner thighs, and a little bit of glute engagement backside. And to press through the tops of the feet, through the tops of the legs, down into the hips. And as you inhale, begin to lift the chest up. So in Cobra Pose, we're not looking for height, more length. So gaze is down the bridge of the nose, shoulders away from the ears. Full breath in. Lovely full breath out. Really press through the tops of the feet. Inhale. And then exhale. Release all the way down. Take a moment to soften. Feel the release and the surrender out. And getting that reset through the body. And then inhale again, lift up into Cobra. Again, not too high. And let's see if we're really using those back muscles. Lift the hands about an inch off the ground. Keep the breath smooth, breathing in. Good, breathing out. Press through the tops of the feet. Inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands down, bring the head down. And this time we turn the head to one side and just release the arms down by your side. Let the shoulders drop down. Let the heels fall away from each other. And breathe down into the belly. Let's draw the heels towards each other. Turn your head back to center, tucking the chin. Reach the arms behind you and see if you can interlace your hands and rest them on your lower back. So if that feels too much, if you do have something, even if it's a sock or a towel, you can place it between your hands.
or you're going to interlace the hands. We're going to work again to feel the engagement in the back of the body. Press down through the hips and inhale, lift your chest. Maybe you can even lift the arms slightly off the lower back. If that feels stable for your lower back, maybe lift the legs and reach to your toes. Breathing in for 1. Exhale. Breathing in 2. Exhale. Breathing in for 3. Exhale. Good. Inhale, release the legs. Release the arms and turn your head to the other side. Let the heels fall apart. Let the shoulders soften down. So our last back bend. Draw the heels together. Turn the forehead to press down. Turn your palms down. Again, draw your shoulders away from the ears. Let's press down through the hips and inhale, lift the chest. Reach to the toes and lift the legs. And maybe you can even lift the arms, reaching the fingertips towards the heels. Modification is keep the legs down and maybe even keep the arms down. Again, 3 deep, steady breaths. Breathing in 1. Exhale. Breathing in 2. Exhale, chin is tucked, breathing in for 3. Exhale. Slowly release down and again, turn your head to one side. This time bring your hands forward and just make a cushion. And really let that register through the body. So it doesn't register as a stressful event, but one to release and relax and unwind. Inhale, turn your gaze down, bring your hands back, midline of the chest. And we'll just nice and slowly press into the hand and come back up into tabletop. And let's move a little bit here, circling the hips round. There again, that feeling of organic movement. Letting any tension and winding out of the body, letting it go. Letting as much spinal integration around the shoulders and the head as you can. And then maybe we'll take a little child's pose, hips to heels, support the head. So getting that direct experience from the body. What am I experiencing right now? I feel the breath around the lower back. Breath around the middle part of the ribs. Breath around the upper part of the back. Breath around the shoulders and the neck and the face. And we'll slowly start to again press all the way up. And as you come up, again feel the spine upright. Okay, so we'll come over again to seated. And bring the hands underneath the thighs. And we'll take a little bit of spinal integration here. So feeling down into the base of the spine, you can feel those 2 bony points, which are the sitting bones. Press down through them. And as you inhale, I want you to press your chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades, and open your throat. And take the opposite to that movement. As you exhale, I want you to feel a slight tucking of your tailbone, and rounding of the back and tucking of the chin and dropping of the shoulders. Good. Inhaling. Coming back up into that extension of the spine, opening the throat. And exhale, curling and rounding and tucking in. So if you'd like to make this a little bit more, you're going to bring your hands behind you. And as you press through your hands, squeeze your shoulder blades, you'll open your throat. You might even lift your hips and draw your knees towards the front of the mat. And maybe explore opening through the throat.
And then you're going to again come back down, curling back in, and try and get the head of the shoulders drawing in, or really get into the back of the ribs. So we need to explore that for yourself. You can keep the hips down. You can have your hands forward if you wish. And moving with your breath. So you exhale, bring the seat down, curling and rounding in. And see if you can find that slight pause between the breath before the movement begins. Inhaling, opening up, whatever expression that shape is for you. And then exhale and curling and rounding in. Lovely. And then let's come to sit nice and tall. Bring the feet together. Bring the knees together. Wrap your left arm around the bent knees. Reach your right hand behind. So nice and tall through the spine. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, just a gentle twist to the right. And feel the movement of twisting through more the upper part of the spine. So the right rib cage drawing back. The right shoulder moving back. Maybe even tucking your chin towards your right shoulder. Let the left shoulder soften. Feel weight down into the right hip. Good. As you inhale, come back through to center and just turn a little bit over to the left. Wrap the right arm around. Left hand behind. Inhale, tall spine. And then again, exhale and twist. So there's not much movement through the pelvis. If you glance at your knees and your feet, they're still together. So feeling more of the movement in the upper part of the spine. Soften the gaze down, drop the chin to the chest. Soften the right shoulder. And then inhale again, come back to center. Good, let's extend the legs forward. We're going to come into a seated forward bend. So in a seated forward bend, for many of us, we lack movement around the pelvis. So we can sometimes feel like we're coming back in a forward bend. So we're rounding into the upper part of the spine. We're actually not teaching the body anything new that it doesn't know. We're just kind of getting stuck in that pattern of movement. So sitting up onto something, whether it is, again, your block, or even rolling up a blanket and sitting up onto a blanket, or lift your hips up, and you'll find you've got a little bit more flexion and movement of the pelvis. And actually even just bending the knees or placing a rolled up blanket underneath your knees will help. So we're not pulling in the muscles around the pelvis, and if your hamstrings are tight, because it's not really achieving anything. Nice tall spine. And then we're going to exhale, bring your chest forward. So you actually feel like you're moving a little forward, and maybe you feel that around the lower part of the back. And then your hands can rest down, whether it's to the knees or the shins, maybe to the feet. And just soften your shoulders, soften your head. Then we're going to take a few breaths here. And again, try and anchor your breath into the body. And belly soft, face is soft. So really try and soften the front of the body. First we let it in. Become aware of anywhere that's calling your attention. Anchor your breath there. And we'll layer on here as we just settle for a few breaths, a mantra. Man means mind, and tra means to train. So mantra is a way to train and focus the mind. So very simple. As you breathe in, I want you to say let. And as you breathe out, silently saying the word go. Breathing in to where you feel that in the body, or breathing into any thought or sensation. And exhaling the word go. Let go.
let, and go. Let's have a little bit of quiet here. I'll lead you out as we're ready, but just take a few breaths, just silently repeating that mantra, focusing the mind and softening. If you notice the mind gets distracted, gets pulled out, monkey mind, first become aware and then just gently draw it back. Let go of that distraction, bring it back in. Let go. And next inhale, nice and slowly. Keeping the chin tucked, feeling the spine draw tall. And then finally, as you soften the shoulders down, lift the chin up. Okay. So we're going to take from here and come out of your seat, and you might find a little bit of movement again helps. I'm going to take a breath pattern in a moment. So as we move through the body, I want you to find a comfortable seat. And again, it might be cross-legged, it might be kneeling. I'm going to work with the breath called Nadi Shodhana, which is a wonderful breath for really balancing and calming. And you can do this, in bed. And it's a lovely way just to let the mind kind of let go of a little bit of the mental chatter, which often when we become still in the body, we suddenly see how busy the mind is. So hopefully from moving the body, we can now sit a little quieter. So become still. It's a very simple breath. And we work with the right hand, and we're just going to close off the right nostril and then the left nostril, and I'll talk us through. So establish a steady breath in through your nose, breathing down into the belly. And a nice long, relaxed breath out. Really a sense of an effortlessness in your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. And let's bring the right hand up. And with your right thumb, I want you to close off your right nostril and just exhale out your left nostril. Find naturally the end of your breath. Inhale through your left nostril, and again feel just the top of the breath, don't overforce. With your index finger, close off both nostrils. And then exhale out the right. Inhaling right. Close both nostrils. Exhaling left. Inhale left. Close both. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close both. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close. Exhale left. Take a couple of rounds on your own. as you next exhale out your left nostril, don't rush to get there. Just join together, bring the right hand down. And focus just the tip of the nostrils. Feel as you take the breath in, following the breath. Balance in your breath. It's like coolness. With each exhale, feeling of just softening a little, letting go. Let go. Nice. Together, take a deep, full breath in. And see if you can really feel the breath down into your belly. See if you're breathing down into your pelvis. Expansive around the shoulders, around the ribs. Take that breath up into the body. Keep sipping up your breath. And then we're going to exhale out the mouth. Take a chin to your chest. Blink the eyes open. Come off your block. Bring your knees back in. And we're going to make our way down onto our backs. And as you come down onto your back, not so long ago from where we started, just take a moment to observe the shifts and the changes. Knees are bent, feet placing down, fairly close to the body. And bring the arms again out wide. Take a deep, full breath in. And as you exhale, drop your knees over to the right. Nice, easy twist that feels any torquing in your back. Bring your feet a little bit wider. Don't almost be as wide as your mat. And turn your head away from the knees. On your next exhale, bring the knees and bring your skull back to center. And feel that movement ripple along the spine. Inhaling, drop the knees over to the left. Turn your head to the right. Again on an exhale, coming back to center. Reach the arms up over the head, straighten the legs, point the toes, take a full body stretch. And then walk the feet slightly over to the right and walk your arms slightly over to the right. So I'm not lifting up my left shoulder or my left hip here. So almost I like to call this banana asana, banana shape. And feel like you're breathing down the left side of the body. There's true lateral flexion here. We're not twisting. There's no rotation. And it's opening up the left seam of the body. And then bring the legs back to center. Bring the arms back to center. And then walk the feet over to the left. Again, don't lift or twist the right hip. This is not a very big movement. Same with the arms over to the left. Drop the right shoulder. And breathe along the right side of the body. Quality of space. And then bring the legs and the arms back to center. You take an inhale again, full body stretch. Feel the body as a whole. And then exhale, drop the arms either down by your side or you can place them onto the belly or somewhere on your body. Let the feet fall away from each other. And as we began, if there's a more supportive way to take here the rest of Shavasana, please take that. Whether you place on layers or place your eye pillow on or blanket. But now leave the body alone. So letting go of any need to move, just to be. So we let it in. We bring our awareness in through the movement, through the breath. We let it go of that we're not serving us. So here now, we can just let it be. And the integration of the movement and the breath and the body. And the softening around the eyes, if they're rolling back and looking down and in. Soften the shoulders and the belly. Feel the weight down to the legs, to the feet. And just for the next few moments, let yourself be. Don't overthink this. Don't control it. But just simply let it be. Let it in. Let it go. And now we just let it be. Let us rest here for a period in quiet. And I'll lead us out when you're ready. And now to deepen your breath. Really have that sense of being settled deep into yourself. Feel the breath moving effortlessly through the body. Start to bring the senses back, hearing my voice, any sounds around you, deeply rested within yourself. A sense of being present in this moment. As you bring awareness to your feet, to your hands, to your fingertips, to your toes, start to bring in the movement. Stretch. You might draw your knees in. Again, let that movement be organic for you. Don't rush. Roll over to one side, supporting the head. And then nice and slowly lifting the body back up. We'll come to close just to sit together. This is last integration, nice tall spine, soft gaze. Really letting this feeling settle into your being. Right here, right now.
And as you take a deep breath in this moment, everything is okay. In this moment, everything is okay. Let's bring our hands to our heart space, bowing your head down towards your own heart. Always this offering of giving thanks to your body. Thanks to yourself, this time that you gave yourself. Thank you very much for joining me